Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is secondary sources of data. Secondary sources are the reports of a person who relate the occurrence of eyewitness of a participant in an event. Secondary sources of data are usually of limited worth for research purpose because of the errors that may result when information is passed on from person to person. Sometimes it is of more value when the information is collected from so many primary sources after witnessing the occurrence from different aspects and the information becomes complete and meaningful. History textbooks and encyclopedia are the example of such secondary sources. Collection of the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, may be presented as good examples of such sources which are secondary in nature and more valuable as compared to the primary source of information in this respect. Sometimes it is essential for the historian to depend upon the secondary sources. The historical event occurrence cannot be repeated like the experiments in a laboratory. The Battle of Panipat or the Battle of 1965 and 1971 between Pakistan and India cannot be repeated for the historian. The historian has to depend upon the information provided by the people related the occurrence, the basis of their eyewitness. Some types of material may be secondary source for some purpose and primary source for another. For example, a high school textbook in Pakistan studies is ordinarily a secondary source, but if one were making a study of the changing in the style of writing textbooks with the change of various ruling regime in Pakistan, the textbooks will serve as a primary source of information. Next, we have historical criticism. The historian does not often use the first hand knowledge based on his own observations. It is impossible for the historian to repeat the past occurrences as it can be done in the case of experiments in natural science, where the occurrence can be repeated at will. Since the historian gets most of the data from the reports of those who participated in these occurrences or witnessed those events, the information he uses in his researches accidentally or secondary to secondary. Thus, his information he used in his researches are second-hand. The historian therefore analyzes this knowledge carefully to shift the true from the false and the relevant from the irrelevant. Thus, he gets the usable, trustworthy, authentic, and genuine data, which are known as historical evidence and which we derived from the historical data by the process of criticism. The criticisms of two types that are external and internal. External criticism deals with the genuineness of the document, for example, whether the document is what I seem to be and read true to the original. The criticism establishes the authenticity of the data and tries to establish whether a document or a relic is true and not a forgery. Through external criticism, the historian checks the genuineness, authenticity, or textual integrity of the source material, whether it is what it appears or claims to be, to determine whether it is admissible as evidence. And internal criticism is credibility. Internal criticism deals with the meaning and truthfulness of statements remaining within the document. In other words, it weights the testimony of documents in relation to the truth. After the authenticity of historical document or relic has been established, there is still a problem of evaluating its accuracy or words. So here today's lecture is, and I hope you understand and enjoy my lecture. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.